there, up in that wall. Right in this corner here, there's another rifleman. That rifleman up in that wall there has the outside of the wall. Outside the wall. The fella in this pillbox up here has this side of the wall. Do you understand me?
Right.
And the same goes all around the prison, but that's the way they have the prison protectors, with the riflemen, with the army. Now, the escape was planned, the way they planned the escape, the way they planned it was, they'd get out, they'd knock the warder out that was there, the man, they had to set themselves up. Finnell had to move from pub to, when you see an empty tub, he'd have to move it up. Do you understand me? Until he got into this tub here, where he was the man that was set up to deal with the warder, okay?
Right.
Mixie Conway was going to work his way till he got to that tub over there, looking out the window. And when all the 4 men were in, do you understand? Mm-hmm. The man given the signal over here, the signal word was, I didn't know what the signal was, but the signal word was, any more soap. That meant that the yard was clear. The yard was clear, okay? That meant that the man in that tub, which was Finnell, would knock the warder out. Do you understand me? They were standing in front here.
Right.
Understand me? I waited, they all went in. I didn't know who was in it, but I knew Finnell was onto something. So they all went, everybody went in. I didn't know who was inside. I didn't know whether he was alone or what he was doing, I didn't know. But I said to myself, that son of a bitch is going to escape. And I'm going to be with him. So, I got in the tub next to him. And he wouldn't look at me, he wouldn't look at me. No,
he was concentrating.
No, he wasn't going to give himself away at all. And I have my tub. I'm washing my towel, giving hot water. And Jesus, all of a sudden, I see Finnell quibbling around. Conway was after saying any more soap. Finnell whirled around and floored the water. And when he was going down, he opened his mouth howling, "Oh!" And I got my hot towel and I put it right down his head like that. And you could see soap bubbles coming up. He blew bubbles, every colour of a bubble when the sun came up. Callaghan says, the game is over. The game is over. Finnell says, no, the game is not over. Callaghan went out the window like that, and I'm after him out the window. The bullets are hitting off of the pavement from the guy up here in this box, until we got up to the wall. The trick was, how the escape was going to work out, was that there was a wooden door there going out into the cemetery where the 1916 leaders were in Arbor Hill prison, and if Finnell had a bar, he was very good, you see, with things. He had a bar that he could go down inside and break the thing. But it was all up. I got 3 days bread and water for that.
You got caught?
Oh,
you never got out?
No, we never got out. Jesus, the bullets were flying, we never seen the leg.
So Arbor Hill, when you left Arbor Hill, what happened? Where did you go?
When my time was finished in Arbor Hill, I walked outside the release that morning. I was arrested outside the door again and taken back down to the internment camp. Again. So I spent a couple of years again in the internment camp after that again. But life, you see, I have the same idea about Ireland today, right now, sitting down here, the 4 of us, as I had then. That Ireland, I read a lot of history. There was relations of mine killed by the British. I know, I'm very well acquainted with what they call the famine. I go into shivers when I think of it. I knew Josh Plant, I was with him before he was executed. He was taken out and shot.
Morris
I was
O'Neill.
with Morris O'Neill. I was with Sean O'Neill when he went up to see his brother and came down. He was taken out the next morning and shot. I saw all those men. I know all those men. They were very close to me. We were very close. You have a feeling for that, and you have to know why. You have to know why. You know why that. And I'm going to say one thing, that this bogey thing about the Adams is after selling everything out. They sold everything out. Adams and McGuinness, they sold everything out.
Ferris, McGuinness and Adams sold the country out.
Look, I don't take any political sides. The sanctity and freedom of Ireland is my whole life. My whole life. Right now it is. That's why I was connected with the GAA. That's why I was connected with everything belonged to the culture of Ireland. I can speak Gaelic fluently. I can live speaking Gaelic. I can speak it fluently. I love to see all these Irish dancing classes. I love to see them. I love to see guys learning the fiddle, although I got such a torment with Nixie trying to play it, that I love to watch the kids.
The flute might be all right.
Anything, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Anything like that, do you understand me? And when I hear people talking, I don't mind a man having his ideas. I listen to the other guy. I met him all kinds of them. I met Mark Edmund. I did very well in this country. I got on very well in this country. I travelled the whole world. I travelled the world under a different name. They wouldn't give me a permit to get out of Ireland. I wouldn't. They'd give me. I never got a passport to get out of Ireland. I travelled this world. They sent back letters to me. They give me no. I stowed away in a ship. I stowed away in a ship out of.
Southampton?
No. I stowed out of a ship out of Ireland.
Cove?
No. It's up there in the north. What's the name?
Larne?
No. It's a small port up there outside Dundalk.
Drogheda? No.
I think it was a minute. But anyway,
Before we get away from that, or John, before we get away from Arbour Hill and the Curragh camp, now it's ironic now that our neighbour, my neighbour at home in Ireland, was interned with John Hunt, and he finished up being my secondary school teacher, Flower Minehan.
Flower Minehan in Ballyhigh?
Right. Yeah. Was interned with John.
Isn't that a small world?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it was that you see, it'd take days and days to give you my life, but in 1936, we'll start off first. I'll give you a little short synopsis of what was going on. You had a civil war in Ireland, and you had brother against brother, and you had all those things happening. Do you understand me? The brothers against brothers. The Free State side won. And they started the Garda Association, Garda Síochána.
Right.
When the Garda Síochána, they were part of the Free State. They were the protector of the Free State government, of the Free State, of the policy that was adopted. They were the guards of the Garda Síochána. Now, let's find out what went wrong after that. Okay, the Free State won. I leave that at that. Now, how did Fianna Fáil come about? In De Valera, there was the divided vote in the Parliament that was the cause of the split. You had Griffith, Collins, Gavin Duffy, and Jim Barton went over and signed the treaty with Lloyd George. We'll have to move on from that. Two best friends killed. Harry Boland killed at the Four Courts, and Michael Collins killed at Bell na Blah. step on now to 1924. De Valera come along, and he started a party called the Fianna Fáil Party. The Fianna Fáil Party. He got all these guys that were in the Republican side, that were prisoners, ex-prisoners, and that was the Fianna Fáil Party. In 1925, in 1927, he put that party up for an election in 1927, and they were beaten. In 1932 was the next election. The Fianna Fáil Party came up again, and the Fianna Fáil, 1927, the Fine Gael Party won again. They won. That was their second election. But in 1932, De Valera appealed to the IRA. The IRA still stayed strong. Still stayed strong. And the IRA's policy that time, according to their constitution, was that they would not discuss or go into any political arena to discuss anything with that. That Ireland should be free with this signing treaties and things like that. Didn't work out for 700 years, and it's not going to work out. De Valera appealed to him. He said, look, vote for me and I'll do away with the coercion bill. Mm-hmm. Now, the coercion bill, you ask a question, the coercion bill. To coerce means that you'll force to do something to somebody against that person's will. So, the Free State government had a coercion bill that anybody that was against the government of the country at that time, which was the Free State Parliament under Cosgrave, that they'd be put into jail and everything. So Dev said, do away with me. So they didn't go with him too well, but he won by one vote. He won by one vote. In 1933, he called a special election, and 'twas then he appealed to the IRA. I got in by one vote. I'll do away with the coercion bill if you elect me. They fell for it, and they went in and they put him in by 4 votes extra. They gave him a majority of 4 votes. He said to the janitor, I always tell this story, and I've been on television many times. He said to the janitor, "Hi there, Jimmy," he said. "Do you remember that little bit of paper that we talked about, the coercion bill?" He said, that we talked about, he said, the janitor says, what do you want me to do with that, Eamon? What do you want me to do? He said, put it up there on the top shelf. Look, put it over there, forget it. That was just after he'd been elected, okay? In 1936, the Bonestown commemoration, Wolf Town's commemoration was held in Sallins, County Kildare. There was a lorry load of men out of Limerick arrested. Sean Glynn was one of them. And they were before the court, and Dev said to the janitor, "Jimmy, what about that envelope that I told you to put away that time?" He said, "Bring it down." And he signed a clause on that, and his first victim was Sean Glynn from Limerick. He died in Arbor Hill Prison, Sean Glynn. After that, De Valera never stopped. He killed man after man, after man. Mm-hmm. Right. I was with my friends that were, some of the best men in Ireland were shot by him, and I was with him. Do you understand me? So people come along to me and they says, "Hunt, how come you're so bitter at the way you are?" I am not bitter. I am not bitter. I am the very opposite of being bitter. But I'll tell you this much, that I am going to have the same idea until they leg me down 6 feet underneath. As long as there is a foreign flag over any part of this land, there is not going to be peace. Adams sold out, De Valera sold out, Collins sold out, every friggin' worm sold out. And here I read in the paper today where Michael D. Higgins, the President of Ireland, is going over in April to have tea with the Queen. Well, Jesus, Mary and St. Joseph, and you're looking at me, and I am telling the truth
Right.
that it's not right.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so much for trying to keep the culture of Ireland alive. You see where I'm here right now inside in Gaelic Park. Gaelic Park. What could be more connected with the culture of Ireland than Gaelic Park, where we have our national games played outside the door here, where we can go into a room over here and we have Irish music, where we can have a step dancing classes, where we have everything connected with Irish, with our culture here. Jesus, Mary and St. John, you don't have to be an embassy or a clown to be figuring out that one. As long as there's a foreign flag over any part of Ireland, there's not going to be peace, because someday somebody will say to somebody, "Hi, Jimmy." He said to his grandson, "Do you see that field over there? Years and years ago, that field used to belong to us. That field. We lost it. The landlords came. The landlords came. Everything happened. They took the... How is it? They went to the prime parts of Ireland and they took everything away. One thing they didn't take away, they never went into the poor areas. That's why you have our Irish language. They didn't go near the border.
Yeah.
They didn't go to Connemara.
Right.
They didn't go to Ballingeary, County Cork. They didn't go to Ring County, Waterford. They were the poor areas. They went to the rich areas, and if they to stop them from talking, what made me? I'm sitting down with my hands like that, Chris, in a seat in a theatre when I saw The Wind That Shakes the Valley. When I saw these young Cork guys, exactly. I went through it, the same as them fellas that they took into that shed that night and butted with a rifle. I went through it.
Yep.
So
They butted me with a rifle. Okay?
Was that movie realistic? Was that the Wind That
The
Shakes
real
the
thing.
Valley?
My friend Dan Ballykeaton. My friend Dan Ballykeaton was in it.
Right. That was tough.
What?
That was a tough movie. It was a very...
But it was true.
Yeah.
I met a priest that's not Irish at all, and he said to me, the only Irish movie that I ever saw that was any good, that told anything about Ireland, he said, was The Wind That Shakes the Valley.
And he just mentioned a name there now, Dan Ballykeating, who was a Tralee man, and he served with John, and he was at the same university, the Curragh, as Dan. And the two sentences that he used to describe John Hunt was, John Hunt, he said, a native of Athay, County Limerick, on the Kerry border, he says, and man of sterling character. Those are the words he used.
There was a lot written about me, but that was the best thing that was, when I read that years ago, I went back to Bally and I said, "Geez, Dan," I said, "a man of sterling character." He said, "John," he said, "I am proud to be able to serve with you."
That was nice. That's nice. That's a good thing for someone to say about you.
And now as we speak here, and we have Wishy Fogarty coming out here in the not too distant future, and he was a personal friend of Dan Ballykeating's, and he interviewed him on Kerry Radio and Telus Talk multiple times. So it would be a beautiful thing for this man to sit down.
We'll organise that, but I'll translate what Wishy's saying because he's from Kerry, he's from Killarney.
Don't worry.
I'll translate it for you, John, so that you'll understand what he's saying.
John, we've had a lot of traders in our time. we have one that was born in Kerry, and look, he donned a red jersey like to play with Cork.
Just tonight.
Yeah.
But you see, I'm after giving a lot there. There's a lot. I travel the world.
Well, no. Before you go any further, now we're an hour and 15 minutes into it now. So what I'm going to suggest is that we take a break, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll just see how this turns out, because I think this is going to go a couple of times. This is not going to be a one night. This is not going to be a one night thing, John. If that's all right with you, we'll break it into sections.
I could tell you, before I leave that, I got out of the country, and I don't know whether they're running here in London or anything, but there's a place in London called Marble Arch, and there's boxes up. They give piece of, but I went up in the box one Sunday morning and I get, oh no, this,
Is that at Hyde Park?
yes, I went up in the box and I gave it out to him. And I looked down and I see 3 guys from Arte. There's one of them alive right now. He talks to me all the time about it. Brown Joe. He said, do you remember the day up in the box in London? When I saw the 3 I took off. Oh, yeah. But you know, and then I went into a place in Sydney in Australia, and we used to make crosses in prison. We used to make crosses out of matchsticks and everything like that.
You were in jail in Australia too?
Well,
No.
I went.
Yes, I was just going to say, you've
No,
got a lovely hotels everywhere.
No, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you something. And I shouldn't be saying this, but I got 48 hours to get out of Japan.
Yeah, he was asked to leave Japan. Yes, he was.
I did. I got 48 hours to get out. I was brought before the American Provost Marshal. This, I was very handy with my hands. I was too handy. I was too handy. You know what I mean? I surprised many man. But I flattened this American GI, and before I knew it, I was surrounded. But they had me. But I had a girlfriend, a Japanese girlfriend. It was all over her.
Yeah, it was good. But if it's okay, we'll take a break.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
And we'll, is that all right, Teresa? Or do you
Yes.
want to
There's-
say anything to wrap this
I hope I
section
did
up?
all right today.
John, you did
That's
fantastic.
book 1.
No, what we'll do is we'll do it a few times, if that's okay with you. We'll turn this out now.